There's a boy behind the glass tonight, counting cracks beneath the neon light. They called it justice on the evening news, another headline people choose. And I stood outside those courtroom doors with trembling hands in case fire wars. But truth don't shine like gasoline, it burns too slow for TV screens. So they trade a soul for certainty, wrap their fear in sympathy, and every doubt gets crucified before it's even heard alive. Why does no one care when the innocent disappear into cages built from rumors and the comfort of our fear? Why does no one care when the truth is standing there, crying through the silence, but nobody wants to hear? And the devil's advocates still scream into the air. Why does no one care? There's a mother clutching faded notes, every word her son once wrote. She swears his eyes were never cold, but mercy's hard when anger's sold. The papers print the easy side, the crowd decides before the trial, and anyone who questions it gets buried underneath the pile. 'Cause doubt is dangerous these days, and nuance never trends. So they sharpen all their outrage till compassion finally ends. Why does no one care when the innocent disappear into stories built for ratings and convictions built on fear? Why does no one care when the cracks are everywhere, and the ones who ask for answers are the villains of the year? But the devil's advocates still stand when no one dares. Why does no one care? I'm so tired of screaming into storms, watching hearts grow comfortably numb. How many lives must break apart before we question what we've done? And if the truth is inconvenient, does that make it any less real? Or are we just addicted to the safety of the seal? Why does no one care when a human life's unfairly torn, when the system feeds on silence and calls indifference being strong? Why does no one care? Why is it easier not to see that justice without questions isn't justice? It's machinery. Still the devil's advocates refuse to look away, even when the whole world says just let it fade. But I still care, God, I still care.
All right, everybody, welcome to A Crimes After Dark on a Wednesday night. That song still gets me. It's so powerful and so beautiful. I'm glad that some people have seen it for the first time still. We used to play it at the end of a show, but then, of course, people start checking out and they don't listen to it. So we put it at the beginning of the show because we think it's that important for you to at least contemplate and hear the music. And a lot of people who listen to it and read the lyrics come away feeling different about things. And that's the way I feel when I still see it. Anyways, we got Robin. We got Rabin. We got Rabin. Rabin's backstage. I'm gonna bring her up on stage with me, Rabin. Let's bring her up. Hey, Rabin. How you doing?
Robin is doing pretty good tonight.
Rabin. Well, it's good to see you. I'm glad that you get to join me. And I'm going to tell you, I'm a little bit in a foul mood. Speaking of foul, I may be shooting myself in the foot with how foul I am on my channel. We'll see about that. But I made a video today, hours ago, on the Andrew and Tristan Tate arrest in Miami. And I dug through some of their history, who they know, who they were going to see, what they were doing in town. And I lost my shit. I lost my shit, and I made a video unlike anything I've ever made. I show a clip at the very, very end, and I give lots of warnings. There's a video clip that's been around since 2012 of Andrew Tate performing what he says is consensual play between two adults, and everybody else should be ashamed to stay out of their bedroom. There's context behind it. And my video is, does money equal consent? Or does money redefine the word consent? Because when you watch that video, I don't believe anybody comes away thinking that was just play between two individuals. And he wants to reframe it that way. And his lawyers will go after everybody that plays it. But the video's been out there for 10, 11 years. But I don't think everybody's seen it. And I think that's what he counts on, is that you're not going to see that video. And then he's going to tell you that you should be ashamed of yourself and stay out of his personal bedroom and quit kink shaming him for what him and his girlfriends like to do. Meanwhile, he's facing rape charges, sexual assault charges, child pornography charges, trafficking, racketeering, potentially. That hasn't hit the charge yet, but it's on the list, I'm sure, coming, because they say that he was running a criminal empire and he's just getting started. And everybody wants a piece of him, but our government in the United States may actually be protecting him. He was going to Washington, D.C. to get his buddies to help him out of his legal problems. So that's what I talk about. And I lose my mind. And for 5 hours, I think, I tried to get this video to upload. And it's not because of the content of the video, although the content, now that I've, careful what you ask for, Robin, because now that I've got it uploaded, I'm probably going to get in trouble with YouTube. But I did the best I can to put the most sensational stuff at the very end and told people, if you can't handle it, if you can't be an adult, turn it off. I get
That's
it.
right.
I don't even like seeing it. Even when I played it back for myself, I'm like, God, I don't want to watch that again. It's just not right. But anyways, it's right now members only, available for members only. I wanted it out today, public right away without going members only. I was going to put it out at 1:00 my time. And 5 hours later, I said, screw it. It's too late. East Coast is going to bed now. West Coast is going to bed. We're just gonna go ahead and schedule it for tomorrow morning and wish me luck. But if you're a member of the channel, you get to watch that for free. Well, not for free. You're a member. You paid for the right for members only content, but you get to watch it early. So there you go. I talk a lot, don't I?
Well, you had a lot to catch everybody up on, so that's all good.
I did. And last night when we were doing our live show and we had Kathy on here and we had Jody for a while and we were doing videos. It was a great night of live dives. And then Amanda, damn her, my document queen on the backside, hands me documents that we started to read live, and I started to lose my shit. And then I realized, wait a minute, I probably shouldn't read documents live, because I was like, well, who is this AT redacted name? Is that Ann Taylor? Who wouldn't think that an AT related to the Idaho 4 case?
Right.
I'm sure now it's not. I'm sure it's not Ann Taylor.
But you never know.
I do believe it's Ashley Tesdale. I've had multiple people tell me that's what it was. I thought it might have been Tesdale. The officer's name may have been a different name, but I think his wife somehow may have been on there as Ashley Tesdale. I thought maybe the guy's name was Ashley Tesdale. Whatever the case may be, I don't think it's Ann Taylor. And common sense should have told us it wasn't Ann Taylor when we were looking at it. But how would you not, like, with all the redactions, you were like, what's going on here?
It's hard. Yeah, it's his wife. Smiling Sleuth says it's his wife.
Yeah, and so does she work for the police department? Is that why her name's all over communications with the police officers? Does she work at the police station in some kind of administrative role? That must be.
I will.
Ashlyn. So someone said Ashlyn. I said Ashley. Ashlyn Tisdale.
Yeah.
So there you go. And again, this is why I felt bad. I started to feel bad because I was reading it live. The only thing to my credit is shortly after reading it, when I said, "Is that Ann Taylor?" I said, "It can't be." Listen, like somebody said, just listen. It can't be Ann Taylor. Context would tell you there's no way Ann Taylor's having that conversation with the police officers. If she did, we would have a major problem. But anyways, we might look into that document tonight again. Unfortunately, because I spent 5 hours, gosh, get your drinks ready. Yes. What's the magic word for tonight? Anybody? Man, I had a few drinks last night and it was a great night. Tonight, I'm just flat out pissed off because that video took me so long. Even now, I'm not sure entirely what's going to happen because now I could be in trouble. But anyways, so we have the video, we have the documents that I didn't even, so we started to read them live. I pulled it because I was rushing it because it was late at the night. So we can read them again, but we'll still have to read them live and in real time to read them together. And the only difference is I can slow down a little and not try to rush it. Dago from True Crime Cafe is usually on with us on Wednesday nights, but it looks like he's still going long on his live, so we may not see him at all, or if we do see him, he might join us late. Hopefully he doesn't burn out trying to do all day streams on his side and then come over and continue the all day stream on my side. So it is what it is. Our panel was designed so that people can come and go.
Yep.
Kathy's Indie Zone has been joining us a lot lately, and if Kathy can join us, fuckery is the word, by the way. Fuckery is the word. However, when I was rating my new video that wouldn't upload properly and I had to check my own video, one of the thing was, listen to this. If according to YouTube's policy, when I'm checking if it's suitable for audiences, if I use the F-bomb, it's the same as saying the racial N-word or any bigoted term against somebody's sexuality. The F word is the same as all those words. So I can say shit, I can say damn, and I can run ads without problem. But if I say the F word, it's the same thing as calling somebody racial slurs, bigoted terms, and I'm like, well, that sucks because to be me, I get excited and I drop the F-bomb. So now it makes me feel, am I not appropriate? Is my life not appropriate? I'm just not the kind of guy that people want to run ads with because I'm too foul mouth.
They're idiots. It's absolutely ridiculous, this censorship crap that they're doing now. I mean, you have to weigh every word that comes out of your mouth. So no, I say that heck with it. Let it drop.
And the irony is when I self-reported myself for saying the F word, it looks like they did a check and maybe removed the flag for limited ads. Like I think there's a window that if you don't drop a bunch of F-bombs in the first 5 minutes, you're okay, which is kind of the reason why we have a music intro and why I take a little bit into the monologue before I say, fuck this, people, we're doing it live. I think we're 13 minutes in. We should be fine with that.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So any questions, comments from the people who are in the chat, the denizens, as we call you? We haven't called you that for a while, but we had the idea of having the Devil's Den as a name for our chat. We wanted to have a community feel, and then it was the denizens. And hey, look, there's Kathy's Indie Zone as well.
Yeah, I was just going to throw her the link.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get Kathy up here and we'll do a live discussion through the more the merrier. Not the more the merrier. There is a limit. But 3 or 4 people on screen at a time is really good. I think that's a sweet spot. The great part about 3 people on screen is I could still put the parental advisory thing in the window and the chat in the window, and everybody lays out nicely. Everybody likes to get laid out nicely. Yeah. So anyways, it looks good when you do that. So we'll wait to see if she comes up.
Yeah. Well, I do not have a monologue, but that's okay. 1-1 and his lovely wife Day and the kids are on vacation, so that's quite all right. I'm glad that he did not do that today. And Essie and I are super psyched because we're going to be able to meet up with 1-1 and Day this coming weekend. So we are super pumped to be able to actually meet them in person.
Yes, yes, Claire, you can come up and give it a try. We've tried before with we had all those technical difficulties. We can try it again tonight if you want to try and come up. We'll, as long as the audio visual is working, we'll give it a shot. Especially since we haven't got other people up here as well, so we don't have a full panel. Come on up if you want to give the link. Well, I think the link's out there. I think it's already out there.
Yes, I did put the link.
So, what else? Any other comments, questions? Where's JJ been? Lisa says, where's JJ been? JJ from State of the Deep. Let me say a lot of words. Let me say a lot of words about JJ. I love JJ's personality. I love JJ's presentation on camera. I think he's super articulate, and people love listening to JJ talk. And that's why he was on my show. I liked listening to him talk. I liked talking to him about things. But as he started to launch his own channel, The State of the Deep on YouTube, he had a Substack, but as he launched his own channel, he wanted to promote his own channel and get going there. And so he was making more appearances on other channels to get himself out there in front of other people. And everything just kind of got to a point where it was a better idea for him to focus on his channel than being a part of our regular show. So we mutually went different ways. At least that's the way I perceive it, so that he could focus on his channel and getting his thing built. I don't know how he's doing since he's left. I checked on him a couple times, but again, no hatred or loss on JJ. I loved having him on this show, but he's now focusing on his channel, State of the Deep. So we wish him the best over there. We got Kathy's Indies on here. What?
Oh, great. UK Claire says that she's blocked from coming up on stage. She's not blocked.
Well, the night that I tried to get her removed from backstage, I might have accidentally blocked, and so I didn't think that was a perma thing. Let me see if I can fix it. Hold on. No.
Oh, when she was having all those audio.
Yeah, when she was having the audio issues, I tried to remove her from stage, and I think I picked the option to ban her from the studio. So is she perma banned from the studio? I don't think that's the way it should work. Let me see. General. How would I?
Stupid
I don't.
StreamYard.
Are you there, Kathy? By the way, while we're trying to figure this out.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Kathy.
How you doing?
Hey, everybody. The night before the day, a year tomorrow, the case was closed.
Yeah,
23rd.
Wow.
that's right.
Has it been that? Has it been that long?
Yep.
Wow.
Counting down because
Crazy.
of the deadline for post-conviction relief, and that 23rd was always red circled because that was a change of plea was the second, sentencing was the 23rd. So we got 42 days from sentencing for post-conviction, bringing us to September 3rd. Yeah, time flies, huh?
Yeah, real quick, UK Claire. Let me see if I can figure it out. So I am the host, and I did apparently block you, so I'm taking full responsibility for that. But I was trying to remove you from backstage just because of the technical issues, and now I got to see if I can, because I don't see an option anywhere where I can unblock you. Let me do a real quick search over on my assistant and see if I can figure out how to unblock you real quick. You guys cover me for a minute, and I'll be right back.
There's UK Claire. So Robin, 24 hours, we went over and I'm very thrilled that we're going to be going over the documents now that, we've had a chance to take, because I did go back and I looked, and I think I'll be able to contribute a little bit more intelligently than last night, but it's exciting, when you're looking at things live for the first time.
Oh yeah. And I did not have because of work today. I did not have a chance to really look at them, so it'll be really brand new for me. For this batch, so I'm excited to get into it and go over it. So yeah,
hopefully it'll give us a few more puzzle parts, to be able. That's what I think. This is a 100,000 piece puzzle that we're trying to put together.
Yeah,
I have maybe 1,000 of them.
And that's why, people will say, well, why do you keep going over this and over that? Because sometimes, like last night with that interview. And the night before the interview we went over, maybe they're not huge puzzle pieces, but we do keep gleaning little nuggets of things here and there that bring more context to the overall case and the story, and really highlight sometimes how much of a contradictory story we are getting from various places.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I was inspired to do, some content. I try to keep it short, 4 minutes, whatever. But I went back to look again. I'm trying to figure out what happened in the last days of the case, if there's any clues there. And I'm wondering if, two big things happened on the 26th. That's when Hitler denied double punch, the all perpetrators motion and the motion to adjourn the trial. And then the day after came the Tim DeWolf return of service showing he was not served. So I'm wondering if any of those have anything to do with his decision to change plea. Nothing to do, but it was a kernel of information that I didn't have before because I was just stuck with knowing that there was, they couldn't locate him. Now that I've heard him, I think he had a lot of good information potentially.
Yeah,
Useful
I
to the
think so
defense
too.
regarding timeline and other relative matters.
I was just running my mouth and I blocked myself. I have to unfuck myself because I was trying to talk to you guys and you're like, why are you guys ignoring me? I'm trying to get a word in edgewise. Anyway. I had just been like, thank you, by the way, for the 200 gems from Jane. What is this? Jane. What? Pronounce this for me. Thugerich?
Jane the
Thugerich? I don't know. But whatever it is, thanks for the sunshine gems.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Jane.
Claire. I was just telling Claire I fixed her, and then she just dropped herself off a backstage.
Where'd you go?
Hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna bring her up and she exited out. This is like a colossal.
There she is. She's back
She's
again.
back
now.
again, and she's losing her shit. All right, what's going on, Claire?
There she is.
What are you doing, girl?
Yeah.
She's back
You
again.
have your shit together.
I don't think I've ever seen you before.
Hello.
It's been a while.
Hang on. Let me. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, for God's sake. Right, hang on. I've got.
And we see the dog.
God.
Some kind of doodle, right?
Get
No?
off. Right.
Claire.
Hang on, I've got no sound.
All right.
Right, let me come back.
All right. Sounds
I'll
good.
leave.
All right. So
Here we go.
This is
Oh,
part
God.
of the new routine. The show is, can we get Claire's audio to work long enough? She used to come on from time to time and chat with us. But anyways, so yeah, we've got the documents we started to read last night, and I don't know if there was any bombshells. I mean, clarify what you were saying, Kathy, about his late appearance. What was the late thing with the Tim DeWolf interview that happened late? That you were.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned you had been waiting to see this for quite a long time, and you thought it was important. Why? Explain to me why you knew or why you thought it was going to be really important.
Because of all, now we know that when it was leading up to trial, and no one, I think, in a million years would have thought he was going to plead guilty. Number one, because two of his attorneys called him factually innocent. And number two, because they had been so at heads battling so diligently. No one saw this coming, I don't think, although it's always a possibility. But in the months, probably from about April and May, the defense filed multiple subpoenas out of state and in state for people to come to the trial, either during the guilt phase or the penalty phase. There were multiple ones in Pennsylvania that needed to be authenticated and endorsed in Pennsylvania, which they all were. The only one that wasn't served, Tim DeWolf. And I did a little bit of research on him, and I saw that, okay, he's a brother from Sigma Chi, so he's going to be able to give us some good input. And I had hoped, when I had seen that he had been interviewed, to hear this interview to find out, is he going to be another one that just said, yeah, well, we were like, two ships that, but no, he was at the Sigma Chi party. He's across the street. He's right there at the time of Banfield.
There seems to be a lot more that he's not saying that seems obvious that there's more to it. That's the other part of it. There seems like he's not saying things that he knows.
He was a difficult interview. I think that ISP detective did an outstanding job to extract what he did. He was like a dog with a bone. He would not let go. I wonder what any follow-up interview might have gleaned, if there was one. But I knew that he had been interviewed at least one time. And so as I'm looking at, and I've been doing this for a while, I'm trying to figure out what induced him. Everybody, he's trying to avoid the DP, but there was so much reasonable doubt in the case. There's got to be more to it. Like if they had hardcore evidence on him, I could see. All right. If there was a lot of DNA in that house, I could see. And the way
we're gonna get UK Claire up here again. We're gonna give it a shot again, real quick though. I have to make an attempt to get Hegrick, Janet Hegrick. See, that's closer, at least that's closer to how to pronounce it. So thank you for giving the pronunciation, and also Peaches Goldsberry. Thank you for the gems. Sorry to cut you off, Kathy. I wanted to make sure that we let Claire know she's coming up so that she gets to warm
Claire,
up here.
come back in.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Hey, Claire.
Hi.
Here she is.
Hi.
Can you hear us now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Cool.
Oh.
What's going on tonight? What's on your mind? You've been, whatever's on your mind, you've been holding it for weeks now because you can't get up on stage.
Oh wow. No, the other week when I had a mini ADHD meltdown. Sorry, I do apologise for that. But I met a fella walking my dogs, and I was listening to one of your videos while I was on the field, and he went, "Oh my God, you followed the Idaho 4?" And I'm going, "Yeah." And this is like just a random person.
That's
and
funny.
We just started talking, and he's got a sorry, Stan's just being a wanker.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, thank you so much.
He just gave it such a different thing than, because I've been following it from the beginning, and he just followed it because he found, sorry, Dan is seriously just wanting attention right now.
Why? How many people in the? I mean, how odd is it to run into some stranger in the UK that follows Idaho 4 case? Is there a lot of people?
Exactly, which was why I was so excited when I got home to actually come online, and then nothing happened, which is why I had a mini meltdown. I do apologise. And no, it was like, so this hair, and I'm going, yeah. And he went, "I've seen the recent drops." And I'm going, "Drops of what?" And then, because I was like, "Yo, you're just talking to me, and I'm a random bird with two massive dogs, and you've got this little, like, I think he had a fucking little chihuahua. Sorry for swearing." And I'm there with two massive dogs. And it was like, "Okay, why are you talking to me, mate?" And
he was watching.
Well, did he have some new documents? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Kathy, you go first.
No, I was going to say, does he know who Judge Hippler is?
yeah, he doesn't like him, but he's an Englishman. None of us like him. Oh, bless you, Stan. Bless you, baby. Oh, bless you.
Yeah, that guy's caused some serious issues. Well, I'm glad that we worked out your audio issues. I think we're gonna start breaking down this video. Did you want to throw a question up or make a comment other than that story before we get started?
The thing is, what he said, I never thought about, because he says he's seen the most recent documents rather than. Sorry if you can hear panting. Bless you, Stan. Ow. He was saying he's seen the recent documents. I don't know what document it is, but it says that the hair in Ethan's hand, the one hair, was not the suspect's, but it did look a lot like the Ethan. It did look a lot like Ethan's. And he's saying, so who else has hair like Ethan?
Right. And I know where you're going with that, because somebody mentioned this the other night too. Somebody said, "Well, Ethan has a brother," and there's a lot of good questions people had about the brother. And I think that might be where you're going, because a lot of people asked that too. I don't think the hair was Ethan's. I think they ruled that out.
Well, it's definitely not Ethan. No, the new documents actually says they can't say it's not Ethan's. If you actually read the document, and I looked, he showed me on his phone. He was like, no, look. And this is in the middle of a field randomly about 12 o'clock midnight.
Yeah.
And I read that it's not Brian Koberger's hair.
Right.
But it's not Ethan's. There's some wording for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, I let me riff on that a little bit. I'm gonna take you off here in a second. I'm gonna riff on what you just said with the group. So thank you for coming up, and then we're gonna get into some documents here in a second. But I want to take what you just said and kind of comment on it a little bit. So another dog. Holy shit! How many dogs are there? There's your two dogs.
I've got two.
All right. Well, we've seen them both on. What are their names, real quick?
Sid and Stan.
Sid
Hi,
and Stan.
Sid. Hi, Stan.
Yeah, Sid and Stan. Oh,
Which one's
Jesus.
the dark one?
That's Sid.
That's Sid, and then the white one is Stan.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Sid and Stan. That's like Sit and Stan. Sit and
As
Stan.
you can
Best.
tell, they hate me giving attention to anybody else, including my friends.
You're getting mauled. This is starting to get obscene. We're gonna have to ditch out. We'll bring you back on later. Thank you for the.
Bye, Claire. Bye,
Sid.
Bye, Stan.
See ya.
It's funny that came up. One of the comments that made, if it had been Ethan's hair in his own hand, it wouldn't be outside the possibility. If you got attacked, for example, and you're taking blows, you could put your own hands on your head and get your own hair in your hand. So that's one way that could happen. But again, keep in mind, this was listed as debris. Somebody came out and told me it was Murphy's hair, which is ridiculous. It's not Xana's hair. It's not Koberger's hair. And the closest people can get where it's either debris, so it's not relevant, or maybe it's Ethan's own hair, or you go to a fraternal or an identical twin. And again, that's the confusing part about Maisie and Hunter and Ethan is I think you've got 2 identicals and 1 fraternal. I think they're not all triplets that are of the same type of twin. If I remember right, it's been a long time. We got another guest backstage. Are you ready for this, Kathy? It's roll the dice night on guests.
Sure.
All right. What do you got, Robin? All right.
Nope.
Let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. What's up?
Hello. Hi, everybody. It's me. Remember me?
Yeah. How are you?
Oh, Robin
Good.
remembers?
I'm doing great.
Good.
What do we got?
Glad to hear that.
Me. Remember me? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
You were on the night that Noah was on with us last. This was.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yes. How are you?
Good.
Doing well.
Good.
How
I
about you?
missed you. I did. I missed you. I did. I kind of did.
Well, kind of did is better than, not, right? So, yeah. What's going on? What's on your mind tonight?
What are we talking about? What's the crime with? I need to talk to you about what happened to that. Okay, let me think. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
That boy who drowned in a missing Nolan. What happened to him?
If you're talking,
very suspicious. You're talking about you're talking about the student that was found in like a river
in the creek
a few months before.
Yes. What's going on? What's going on with him?
I mean, they're officially not listing it as any kind of murder or suspicious thing. So the community is suspicious about several deaths in the area that are chalked up as either accidents or mostly it's accidents. There's been a suicide as well, but they mostly just get chalked up that way. And again, the community thinks that there might be more to it. But Nolan Wells, is that what you're asking?
Nolan Wells. Yes. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes. What is it because of four of his friends that killed him, or no? Is it, or people? Is it because of that?
Oops, I don't think we're going to know the answers to that because it's not officially under investigation. Yeah.
When is it? Is it going to be tomorrow? It says it's going to be tomorrow. They are going to have more answers to it. Yes.
Well, I will be excited to see if they have anything new, but I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, because you bring up a good point. You bring up a really good point because that year there were so many young people that passed away under suspicious, conditions. How many students in 2020? I think it was like 4. Well, we know the 4 at 1122, and then the one that you're referring to, the young man, and then we had the young lady that supposedly was Maddie's friend, and then the 2. There was a lot that year. Moscow Police Department, as far as I know, I didn't know that they were investigating. So I'm really interested in learning what you're saying is going to happen tomorrow. Definitely
See,
look at that.
Catherine, do you
Oh,
really
it came out
have
as undetermined.
Yeah, so it sounds like somebody says his
undetermined? What does
autopsy came
that
back,
mean?
meaning that they don't want to say what it was. Usually, I'll tell you what it usually means. What it usually means is they can't rule out murder, but they don't have a murder suspect, and so it's they don't know if it's an accident, they don't know if it's murder, or so usually it's those two. It's either an accident or a murder, but they don't have a suspect, so they'll just say undetermined. That's a way to kind of get out of we don't want to call it a murder, because if we have a murder with nobody to prosecute, then it looks bad having an open case that we can't solve. And so undetermined is kind of in my opinion, it's a loophole to get away from. I don't want to have a murder out there that we don't have closed.
Right.
Do you see, Catherine? Do you have a channel? I mean,
Kathy does. Yes, Kathy has Kathy's Indie Zone. We can. Let's post the link up there. Yeah.
Please.
So can you subscribe to me? Like, do you? Okay, my words can't come there. I'm sorry. Talk away.
All right. Take your time.
Okay. Sorry about my brain. I'm sorry. Yeah. Wow. It's crazy.
That's all right. Don't apologize. Take your time. You
post the link up for Kathy's.
Yep. I'm going to post the link so that you can go.
Can you post?
There we go.
Link
yep.
Too.
Yeah. If you have your link,
too?
if you put it in private, I think you can put it in private chat. We can post
it. Yeah. If you put it in the private chat, I'll post it for you.
Yep. And then we're gonna let you go, because we're gonna get into a document read on camera here real quick. So we'll get your link posted. We'll get Kathy's posted.
No. Can I please hear this?
Yeah, you could stay and hear the thing. We're gonna review it with Kathy and Robin. I'll just put us three on stage.
Sorry. See, Kathy, I have one question for you. Do you have a Discord?
No, honey, I don't. I'm not on Discord. I'm too old. I'm just not young like you. I can't figure it out.
And then Robin, I just add you on to the Discord. Yeah, Discord.
Okay. All right, great.
Perfect. All right, so we're gonna get into the document read now.
Do my link in.
Yes, did you put it? Did you put it in the private chat?
She didn't put it in the private chat. She said
it won't let you.
Discord.
It won't. Okay, do it on Discord. Okay, we'll get it up there.
I have to get on Discord real quick.
Very much. We'll get it up there. Give me a second here. We'll get it up on screen. You pull it up from Discord real quick. I'm going to put us on side real quick.
Okay.
Did you grab the documents, or I've got them, don't I? Hold on.
Yeah, you had them last night. Anyway.
Let me pull them up real quick.
Okay, I don't see anything from her.
On our Discord, or her? Does she have a
here,
Discord?
no, here. Okay. She put it in the chat now. Okay, great.
Well, I want to thank her. I had no idea that there was an autopsy that came out today.
I didn't either. So that's and if somebody wants to pull it up why we're doing this, I mean, I guess we're doing a lot of late night or last minute stuff here real quick. All right. Let's put this up here. So this is what we were looking at. It's 42 pages long. So that's why I want to make sure that we don't spend forever on this, because it's live dive and I don't want to wait, hold on. I got to pull something else off stage real quick.
There we go.
Share the screen. So this is what we started to look at yesterday.
Yes. Okay.
And I don't know whether to just start over again. We're now thinking that this is a Whitman County Sheriff's Office electronic communication report. So yeah, and it's from 11/14, and Brett Payne's running random name queries on people and vehicles and people registered. We got through that a little bit. We had confusion for a while that from AT to Brett Payne. We're like, is that Ann Taylor? It's not. I'm almost certain it cannot be Ann Taylor. It would make no sense whatsoever. I think it may be Ashlyn Tesdale, people have said, and I haven't figured out. Right, but does she work at the?
I'm going back a long time now. I have to say, guys, but I have to say that I believe that she worked the Whitman County 911 Center is who picked up the call for from 1122. And she worked there as a 911 is what I'm going on memory now, going back 3 years.
On
But she didn't work
911?
that day. Yeah, she's like a
Okay.
911 person.
Okay, yeah, and then they were talking about this kind of surprised us last night that they were looking for a video
Right.
that was that showed something, and we were like, what do they mean? Is there another video that we all haven't seen? What was the discussion of the video?
That requires some looking into, because it said this last week, and it sounded like it was a home close to 1122, and that's making me wonder, is that where the other camera is? Because recall, my confusion with the PCA has always been, how could Detective Brett Payne see a suspect vehicle when attempt to park in front of 1122 turn in the road? And I know that there are content creators out there, including Dago, who swears there's more cameras. So I'm wondering if this might be it.
Also, so here we have this as well, that they were talking about, can you tell me who made the initial 911 call? Mm-hmm. Did anybody verify? We were talking about this last night. Is this for sure the Idaho case number? I think it is. And I think we all thought it was. But there's some confusion. They're trying to find that case number, and their records literally skip that number and just have 902. And why would that? Makes you wonder, like, why is the biggest thing missing?
Why?
And these two are available. Why is that missing?
It's exactly what I was wondering. Why?
Super weird. Like from the get-go, within a week, they're shutting it down and not making it available. Like, how did they make that determination so fast?
And what else has been pulled? What else has been pulled and never put back?
Yeah. If you click on the involvements in the corner and go down to CA, the initial call, it should be in the contact field. So they're again talking about the 911 call and trying to find out who made the initial 911 call. Okay. Yeah, it's in there, but I can't find a name. And they're talking about they can do some digging.
No, this makes perfect sense. Now, what I was thinking, this was 911 center, somehow, like who made the initial call? Payne is asking someone with guilty who made the call.
Right. It would make sense. Oh yeah. So Amanda did pull up the Moscow number. Is that? So it is the 9903
Thank you, Amanda,
number.
for confirming that.
That's awesome. We got a good team. We got a great team.
Oh, she's the best with the dot. I mean, she's so quick.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
So anyways, they're having a discussion still about this. I am pretty sure the caller was, and we were thinking last night, Bethany. Mm-hmm. There's a B redacted. I think 113, which is probably a unit number, put that in the report. No record in Spillman besides that one phone call. Area code is, and why is this important for the details? Because some people say that there was an earlier 911 call and we've all been lied to, they've been manipulated, whatever. So again, does this dispel the idea that there was an earlier 911 call when they're saying there's only one call? So
nothing can be put.
I know that's true. Nothing can be ruled out for sure.
Nothing can be ruled out with this lot, UK Claire, because I spent a little bit of time in England, so I knew what wanker is, and I laughed.
Yeah,
that. Nothing can be ruled out with this lot, UK Claire.
I could probably get away with saying wanker on my show without hitting YouTube's algorithm for bad words, I suppose.
Especially if we pronounce it winker.
Yeah, right. What else did I mispronounce? Oh yeah, Rabin's on stage.
Yep, Rabin, my name. Okay. He renamed me.
Sorry, I couldn't help further. Brett Payne to somebody. That's great. A gal from the FBI is going to call you here soon with a request for some registration. So we got about this far, maybe a little bit further last night.
Right.
Use your number. Or are they going to request me? Attach them to that Idaho case number, the 9903. Can you give me a RNQ on any vehicles registered to a KD? Does anybody to this day, I know that we had some people here last night that I said, hey, tell me if you guys, who is KD? Does anybody know who they are? Are they just random people that ran back on plate searches and they don't know? And there's a reason why we don't know. And by the way, thank you for the gift. The UNC alert. What is that? UNC alert. I wish I could see them. At least StreamYard's letting us know when we're getting gifts on that side. So thank you so much for all the support of the show. It helps a lot, especially when they give limited ads to me because I say the F-bomb too much. So it's got to come from somewhere, right? All right. So Idaho and Washington State, they're looking for, do you want a list of everything that was run? Yes, please. Got it. Okay. Nothing been registered to him in Washington, and his record through Washington shows a blank address. I also looked into his involvements in previous calls that contained his criminal history and saw no aliases names to search. Who is SW? Do we know? We don't even know. These are probably people. I'm assuming that some of these people must work for what was the agency at the very top? It was Whitman County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah.
But look, what's interesting is some of them are redacted and some of them have that squiggle thing. That to me looks like the statute. And at the end of this, there's going to be a list of at the end of this document, it's going to tell you what 74-1051, what that exception is.
Right. That good point. So for those who don't know, this type of redaction with the section 74-1051 is the exemption reason why they're redacting it. So they have to give a reason why they redact things, and that's what that is. That is
right.
whatever that statute says, or that particular section of the statute says, is the reason why that is blocked out. And so and like you said, like, what is we on? We're on page 5. Let's just go see if it is at the back of this.
I got a question. Whitman County, the 911 center is in Washington, whereas the Moscow Police Department, of course, is in Idaho. So which state statute are they going by?
Good question. But anyways, there it is. Like
Very
you said,
good
there it is,
question.
Kathy. So the sections 105.1 is active investigative records, which, if released, would interfere with law enforcement proceedings. And oh my gosh, it's such a generic bullshit thing. Hey, look, you're going to be interfering with our job. Why? Just because we said so. It's such a bullshit redaction, but that's my personal bitch. They can always say, hey, look, I can't give that to you. It interferes with an ongoing investigation.
Yeah.
It's always that way. Remember, this caught our eyes as well. Is there an FBI roaming around? Is the FBI roaming around Paradise Drive area?
Where is Paradise Drive? I'm sorry.
Is that in Moscow? And is anyone driving car 2? This is the part where we were all kind of like, what the hell are we looking at here? I gotta love mystery documents
as we get further down. Trust me.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. IS, is that Idaho State, has a new MDT they want to swap. D is on his way there.
Okay.
What is an MDT? Did we figure that out last time? I can't remember.
We need
I feel like we did.
We need Juan here to interpret.
Yeah. He's
okay.
Oh, look at Gunderson.
Yeah, Gunderson.
He's excited about something.
Hey, can you tell me if there are any vehicles registered to an MD out of Washington? Yeah, stand by. I can't find anything, and that is the correct spelling. Oops, I found a MWD. Redacted.
Now look, I want to point out something. See there at the bottom, 3/19/24. That would seem to be the date that this was printed out.
Printed, yeah.
Yeah. So March 19th, we have to put our spectacles on that this is what they had at that time.
Right. And the date of the log, however, is from the 21st of 2 years before. So this is a report, like you said, a report run about previous records in their system.
Right. Now let's think November 21st. What was going on then at that
Hangman's
time?
Jake, I don't think it's DMT. If they did, half this department wouldn't even be able to have a communication. But anyways, sorry, that's an inside joke.
That's all right. Okay, so we knew that the sheath was tested on the what was it, the 17th, and this might have been around the time that Blacker's taking the profile, the DNA profile, to Houston. I'm just trying to think, like, around what time is this all happening?
So here you go. In police work, MDT is a mobile data terminal, or MDC, mobile data computer, is a rugged in-vehicle computer mounted inside. It's like their little laptop that's probably all strapped in, that they type things on and pull things up. That's what I'm guessing from what Amanda said. See, this is why we get paid. This is why she gets paid the high dollars and she didn't get paid shit.
Thank you.
Anyways. All right. So
see this.
And there's that big fat redactions.
Three of them. One after the
I
other.
checked the Camry's plate, a Toyota Camry's plate, through our system for a year ago today, and it hasn't been ran. Copy, thanks. Let me know if you need anything else. Will do.
You think
when was the date? When was the date that they identified suspect vehicle 1 was a Hyundai Elantra, not a Camry?
Not for a little bit. Remember, we had the two, and it's going to come in a little bit later on. The two WSU police department officers, they called in the camera. So it's going to be a couple of days after this. I'm thinking at this point, they're still thinking SV1 might have been a
Camry.
Camry. They mentioned some other cars, but then there was correspondence that went from Payne, and that we got it when the Washington documents were unredacted. It's coming up here in a few days.
Okay. A few days in the log, you mean?
Yeah, like a little bit closer to the end of the month.
I checked the Camry's played through the system and found, okay, let me know if you need anything else. Will do. I really enjoy helping. It makes me feel like we read this last night too. We got this far. I keep reading stuff we saw last night.
It's all right, but it's good to refresh because this isn't.
Hey, can I get any vehicles registered to SS? Somebody out of 2001, is that a plate or a date of birth? Maybe it's date of birth, right? SS with date of birth 2001 out of Idaho. And then they're asking for a clarification. Is it this SS? Sent it to your MDC. So that's his mobile data command, console inside the car. I found 3 VINs under his name. The blank is in locals. Thanks. Yep. Did you mean to put yourself on the screen? This is where he's got a bit. He's doing screen sharing. Hope, don't look, Apple. Whatever's going on. Didn't mean to turn my screen on. Can you run AW date of birth 1982? Looking for a current address. Who are all these people that are running? And by the way, we don't even know for certain if this entire log is all just Idaho 4 discussion, or do we? Like, has it been trimmed to only fit the specific case, or is it possible I'm just asking, is it possible they're running plates for other stops and other things going on and we're getting all of it kind of jumbled together, or is this all related to the incident in Moscow? I don't know.
There's no way to really know, but I just see Brett Payne coming up. They're looking for cars, and it seems like maybe they put in they populated it just to pull up the 1122 investigation.
Yeah. Oh, look, one's backstage. Police officer talking about using MDT many times now. Now every officer is assigned a cell phone. So they would I guess back in the day, although you still see computers in the cars all the time. But anyways, all right.
We saw Nunez with the computer in the car when he was, driving.
Which is probably the mobile device console is probably the bigger computer, I guess, and the terminal might be a small. I don't know. Shit, who knows? Why aren't you on vacation? You should be on, anyways. But thank you very. I'm glad that he's here. He could come up if he wants to. Clapping seal, squishy bum.
He sent the clapping seal.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Very cool. All right. Can you check any vehicles registered to him? All sent to the MDC, Silverado, and S10 in the locals. Perfect. Thank you. No problem. Keep in mind, you guys got to watch who this is back and from. I'm trying to abbreviate for you. Can you run redacted and send me the return? State, Oregon. I'm not getting a return. Copy, thanks. I also did an H1. Somebody told us what the H1 was for the region and got nothing. I forgot. Somebody told us earlier what the H1 was. This conversation of Brett requesting by Ann Taylor. What?
It was requested by Ann Taylor.
Oh, this report.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember Ann Taylor was asking for all the communications and specifically a couple of officers. Remember that? That's what raised my hackles. Ann Taylor was wanting communications of everybody on duty, but then there was very specific people that she wanted everything, including their personal cell phones and everything. She was like, and these guys. And I thought, well, why is she focusing on certain police officers? That should tell you something right there, in my opinion.
Maybe. Remember, she knew who Thompson said was possibly the Brady Giglio cop. She knew.
Right.
In the public. So maybe she's looking specifically for that one or two officer.
Yeah. All right. Interesting. Thanks. Sorry, I blew up your MDC, but I ran the plate nationally, and those are all the returns I got. So he got a huge data dump. But the plate comes back to locals to a blank. COR, looks like, maybe.
Will do.
Can you run that VIN in Washington? Also Idaho, will do. And can you check the ID of such and such? I will have to. So it makes you wonder where Brett's getting all these names and plate numbers. Where did he get all this data? Mm-hmm. I have to run the something clan first, then I will. LOL. the B clan first.
I believe this is
dear.
the first time that we're getting a reference of a Hyundai Elantra here on the 22nd.
Okay.
I think. I don't recall saying it before. Robin, did you? I think this is the first time we're seeing reference. So this
no return.
When the Fed suggested it was but remember initially it was not a 2014. It was
it was a 2011 to 2013, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No return on the such and such plate. Are you looking for the updated return on the Hyundai Elantra with the such and such plate? I can run its VIN. I got its return through it. The way this feels, and I'm not in law enforcement, so I don't know, but it feels like they're running a whole bunch of plates of a whole bunch of different cars, including different makes and models. And then when they find a car that they like, then they start going, okay, it's a Hyundai Elantra, I'll go with that. Like it feels a little bit like they're searching all kinds of cars. And then when they decide that they've got and what was the word that I picked up on Cyree? Brian Kohberger became the best candidate. The best they got a bunch of cars, maybe Camrys, maybe Hyundais, maybe Nissans. I don't know what it is, but Brian Kohberger somehow became the best candidate out of all the people they're looking for. So
yeah, and I want to point out another thing. All right, how did they vet all of the people they did in the early days of the case? By the end, I mean, within like 10 days, people were cleared like almost immediately.
Yes.
The type of vetting that they get into. I mean, this has even come up in the EWU case where the chief of police, Anthony Dallinger, said that they vetted a bunch of people. How possibly, if they're spending, look, you got Payne here working on a license plates, it looks like all day long and night.
Yeah. Thank you, Amanda, for helping educate us on the fly. And police dispatch terminal H1 mostly refers to a homicide or murder. However, terminology is not standardized across all of the police departments, so you're not 100% sure. But its meaning depends on the location and how it's being used. Very good. Thank you. It's cool. All right. I'm good for the moment. Thanks. So now we're talking about a Hyundai. Can you run blank? Yeah. Now it's going to change, right? So, and this is the date of 11/24. When did they discover Kohberger's car that was, this is the whole sketchy thing. The officer that saw, here's the story I remember, Kathy, and I know you're going to remember this, maybe even Robin and maybe Amanda. An office, a campus cop saw a white Hyundai Elantra that ended up being Kohberger's car, but he didn't call it in. This is the thing. He didn't call it in because it didn't match the Bolo. It was the wrong years. But then later on, you got Cyree saying, you watch, when you go and look at the record, you're going to find the guy that called in Kohberger's car. But I remember he didn't call it in because it didn't match the Bolo. It was the wrong year.
There were two more that did. One of them is Curtis Whitman. It was like within a half hour of each other. It was like the morning of do you remember, Robin? It was like the morning. It was the same day that Othram billed ISP for their work. It was like around the 28th of November, like at 12:05 in the morning. Curtis Whitman, I don't know if he was first or second, and then the other one, Tiango.
Yep, Officer Tiango. I remember Tiango. Yeah, we're
going to see some communications of them down here.
Okay, good. Well, maybe it'll clear up everything that I just fucked through. See, I'm 58 minutes in. I can say the fuck word now at that point. So, all right, here we go. Can you run this through and send a return? Of course, thank you. Was there a stabbing in Pullman this morning? That's interesting. From 11:24.
And this is coming from Brett Payne.
Yeah. Not that night shift passed on. I will double check. So it sounds like they're asking, was there a new stabbing in Pullman days after, a couple weeks after the murders in Idaho, but he hadn't heard about it. Yesterday morning, there was a dog that had stab wounds. There's a case number. Do we care about this case number? We've got a case number. Should we put that on our notes somewhere?
That's not about Buddy though, right?
No, I don't. Well, that's what it shouldn't be Buddy the dog. I think that was in Idaho.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was earlier. It was before these crimes at 11:22 that Buddy.
I'm only curious because now we know about an incident, we know the date, and we know the case number. But is it related? Do we want to go fishing or not? I don't know. The nice thing about it, if it's a Washington State record, you can actually get Washington State records.
Right.
The dog thing is common. I've been told in the U.S. People stabbing dogs, it's horrible.
Not around where I live. What's that? People.
All right. So I don't know if we want to, I don't know if I don't have a way to copy and paste that. If somebody can write that down, maybe we'll get it later, or I can just remember it's on page 12. All right. I asked the Pullman officers on or about a stabbing or cases involving a knife, that knife shift would have passed on to them. And this was the only case that they were aware of. It was reported at 8:51 a.m. yesterday morning. And I'm assuming this is still the stabbing of the dog. I've had Pullman, WC, Whitman County Sheriff's Office, and WSU Police Department since 7 this morning. So that's what those acronyms are, I'm pretty sure. I read the report, and this was a fight between two dogs. When the attacking dog would not release the victim's dog, the victim's owner took out a knife and stabbed the dog several times until the dog did release and died. All parties have been contacted and identified. What a horrible thing. And that's this, fuck,
they all have knives.
Yes,
it's like even when JS, when he was arrested for disturbing the peace, so-called, he told the cop, "I have a knife in my back pocket." What is it with this area and knives?
Yeah, there's a lot of knives there, but there may be a lot of knives everywhere. I don't know. Are any of you familiar with a threatening note case involving LM? A threatening note case. This is super, like, if nothing, it's entertaining reading. Like, what the fuck is this now?
Yeah.
I have someone on the phone that wants to talk to an officer about him. Somebody wants to talk about a threatening note involving LM. Do we know who LM is? I have someone on the phone who wants to talk to an officer about him.
It's
not off the top. What?
It's interesting how people just, we have Corbin Smith who, Warner. Why is Warner plugging in here? You see them come in with like one time they're on here. And then like
Warner.
Oh, no, off the top. I'll have to look it up. Like, where did he come from?
So, good point. MN, I tried. Apparently, it was at a Super 8 or a Sherry's, but I can't find anything yet. West Pullman, nom nom. Dude from out, nom nom. I don't know. West Pullman, nom nom. Dude from out of town, Minnesota, and a bit 220 about the murders. A bit 220 about the murders. What the fuck?
Juan,
what is this?
Where are you?
What is a 220?
Well, let's recall that Warner did tend to use the colorful language. Dude, nom nom.
Yeah, nom nom, dude.
He also called Hunter homeboy at the on the 13th. This is all Warner.
I mean, maybe he's still a little wet behind the ears or something. I don't know. Can I transfer EL to you? He has more information. So if anybody pulls up what a 220 is, we'll go back to this. They would have to request a report through our records if they want info. Good luck requesting a report through your record system, because nobody, well, I mean, we are getting videos, like I said, but I don't get shit from them. Maybe I just don't write good.
Says for Washington State, it says it's a mental complaint, a 220.
Like a mental health complaint?
Yep.
Karen, welcome. Thank you for the gold coin. Appreciate that very, very much. I love it. I like it. All right. Thank you. Share to the transfer. Talk to you later. Good morning. Can you run me a DNQ? This is on the 27th. So we keep skipping days. 25th. Now we're on the 27th. Good morning. Can run me a DNQ for a JP, date of birth, something 92. Like, we can't even know the year on that one. I guess it's 1992. I mean, what else could it be, right?
Right.
But anyways, Idaho, morning, will do, thanks. Can you do an RNQ as well? Will do. I'm not getting anything. I'll try DAPS. Interesting, thanks. Nothing in DAPS. Interesting indeed.
Around this time is when the Bolo went out to the other cops. They said, keep it under your hat. It wasn't until December that went out to the public, where they used the 2 stand-ins for suspect vehicle 1. It's around this time that Payne sent the memo. And
does it seem that they find it interesting that nothing came back on this person? Like, they said, can you run this person? And then they're like, nothing's coming back. Interesting. Like, did they expect something to come back? Were they like, I'm pretty sure we're going to get something on this guy? And then nothing comes back, and they're like, well, that's interesting.
Lee, they're going by their gut instinct.
I know.
And then when they find the evidence, oh, nothing there. Oops, sorry.
All right. Nothing in dabs. Thank you. No problem. Can you run this VIN through Washington and Idaho? I think Idaho is currently down, but sent you a Washington return. Got it. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Can you run a RNQ for BS in 1988? Check Washington and Idaho and Washington. Redaction is the answer. For a Stratus, is that a car? Stratus, or is that something else? Or is that a system? I don't know. Nothing went through Idaho, but ILETS has been weird today. Awesome. Can you run? Watch. They're running the fuck out of plates all over the place, right? Can you run this?
This is what they're spending all day doing.
Now we're looking for a white Ford Explorer belonging to a JG.
Okay. Thanks. At this time, the Fed, the guy from the FBI, is clearly saying suspect vehicle 1, he thought is
a white Elantra 2011 to 13, right?
Correct. So why are these people running white Ford Explorer?
Maybe because we're still looking for a good candidate.
Yeah, they haven't found their candidate yet.
Maybe this is suspect vehicle 2.
It's funny you mentioned that. I kept pointing out, why would the documents say suspect vehicle 1? Why not just say the suspect's vehicle? The fact that it has a 1 makes me think at some point in that living document, there was another vehicle or 2 that was suspect vehicle 2 and 3. And so I keep telling people, it seems like a devil in the detail kind of thing. Why suspect vehicle 1? Why not just say the suspect's vehicle? Why number it unless there's more than one suspect vehicle in your living document? When they cleaned it all up and decided it was one perpetrator, multiple vehicles came down to 1, but they were dumb enough to leave SV1 in there instead of just calling it the suspect's vehicle. Is it possible that happened?
I think so. When I'm looking here, I'm just using my gut here, Lee, having, drowned on these documents. But by this time, November 22nd, this is 14 in the afternoon, the Fed person who looked at the computers and found he had identified SV1 was a white Elantra, as you said, 2011 to 2014. So I'm looking here. Why are they now looking for white Ford Explorer?
Right.
This might be SV2.
Right. That's right. And that's what I'm kind of getting at is how many of these other vehicles were potentially suspect vehicle 2, suspect vehicle 3. But when they decided this is how it happened, it was one guy by himself. We're just going to go with one guy and suspect vehicle 1. He's the best candidate.
Right. Because look who's starting this is Brett Payne. Can you run Washington? And he's giving the tag, I think. And then it comes back. So Payne's not going to say, they're not going to run like a license tag. They're going to run a tag that they think's attached to a car. Here, white Ford Explorer. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Thanks. Right there. Thanks. Can we run vehicles by their registered address? I don't believe so. Something big and redacted. CV called in and wanted to let you know that some redaction will have security guards until 6 o'clock in the morning. They will be there for at least the next week, maybe 2. He would like a call at some phone number to discuss if he needs to blank shift every night because people call them in as suspicious. Now, are these people sitting outside 1122 King Road residents?
So around this time, look at this. This is now, 2 weeks later. In the first few days, you'd see an MPD car there at nighttime. Then they brought in the private people. They brought in the private outside guard company. It would have been around this time, Lee. It would have been around this time. I think you've hit it on the head here. Yeah,
I think so. I think they're watching the house. I'm guessing, but it's all guess. We have to guess, but you can almost logically. Who's Corbin Smith?
See, it's like, how come he's jumping in here?
And yeah. And I guess the redacted people are mostly from the Whitman County Sheriff's Department, and the Idaho people are open.
Right.
Perfect. Thank you. M102 sent out an email to the department, and we will have the night shift watch commander contact him. Sent to your MDC, has 2 vehicles registered to so-and-so. Just let everyone know, C called and said that car 7 is ready to be picked up from the shop. Okay, thanks. Hey, random question. Do you have a record of what our NCIC ORI is here? Yes. Moscow PD, blah, 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 redacted. Brett Payne, thank you. You guys doing okay over there? Yeah, things are good. Still crazy callers and entitled people from all around the country and Canada. this is the part of the
is this the tip line maybe? Or
yes, and this is the part that bothers me, right? You simultaneously go on a press conference and say, we want, if you guys have seen anything, we want you to call. Tell us what you've seen. Any tip helps. And then you're like, these fucking people keep calling us all the time, crazy entitled people calling us all the time. Like, you can't, you can, because you do, have it both ways. Say that you want everybody to call in and they get pissed because you're overwhelmed with the number of tips coming in. When you just told everybody any tip will help. And then you're like, man, these fucking people calling in all the time is driving me nuts.
Oh, and look at this, the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah,
now agreeing.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Not surprised. This has brought out lots of interesting folks.
I think a lot of people would say that about Brett Payne after reading PCA. You know, that
tell W and C I said hi. So these are people he knows, I guess, at Whitman County Sheriff's Office. They said hi, LOL. LOL. Can you run such and such for me, Idaho? We miss you guys at the Christmas party. Sent to MDC, white 2014 Elantra to a E and C and G.
Okay, we have to now, if we could stop it right here. By this time, it's a few days since the two cops from WSU law enforcement, Tiango and who was the other one? Whitman, had called in, or I don't know if that's his name, had called in. They both did it at the same time within a half hour of each other. Koberger car. So this has happened already a few days ago.
And even Koberger's vehicle was a 2015 or 16. It was 2015, right? Or was it 16 for Koberger's actual car? So they were originally looking for I think it was a 16. So they were looking for 2011 to 13. Now they've got a hit on a 2014. That can't be Koberger's car. And we know also the name doesn't match up. But you know, we're getting closer to a good candidate. Dang, we wanted to come out, but probably talking about the Christmas party. Somebody's folks came. So somebody's folks came down for dinner and we went to the tree lighting thing in Troy. Thanks, no problem. Will you run this? A white Chevy Cruze listed to a KL and MM sent to your MDC. Got it. Thanks.
It's around this time that they did the Bolo to the public. So why are they looking at a Chevy Cruze?
12.6. Yeah. Yeah. Why? What do all these cars have to do? Is it, again, suspect vehicle 2, suspect vehicle 3? Is there more than one suspect? Thank you for the gems and the flower. That's pretty awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Only pretty in the dark. Only pretty in the dark. That's hilarious. Some of these, that's hilarious. Reminds me of a line from one of my my rock idols back in the 80s. Anyways, I'll leave that go. Can you email me all the calls for 1122 King Road before the 13th of November? Email to fbi.gov. So Brett Payne is asking them to send email logs and calls to the FBI at FBI, some address at fbi.gov. So who's taking point in this thing? The FBI or the Moscow Police Department? Why is Brett Payne from MPD having things sent to the FBI directly?
I'll tell you exactly what I think. It's around this time that the FBI tells Othram, stop working, send us your work, we'll take it from here. Thank you very much. It's around this time, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, around here.
Wow.
So out now, wow. They're getting involved now with calls. Give me all the calls.
All the calls for 1122. Now, does he mean all the calls coming in from the tip line or calls that originated from inside the house? Like, what do you mean by, can you email all the calls for 1122 Road before the 13th? Is he asking for tip line calls?
Maybe 911.
Or not? Yeah, it's not clear.
Because it's before the 13th of November. So maybe not noise complaints, you know, that may have been called. We know that there was one September 1st around that time when Payne actually, I think it was him on the front step, was speaking with Santa.
Okay.
And, so maybe that.
Maybe the context will tell us as we keep reading. We'll see. I can't. How far back do you want to go? Last 2 years? Sounds good. So they're looking for 2 years back. So they're looking for the last 2 years of anything related to calls for the one. So yeah, you're right. The context might be telling you they're looking for like dispatch calls to the 1122 King Road house and the 2 years leading up to the murders. How far back you want to go? 2 years? Sounds good. I'll start working on it. Thank you so much. Not a problem. Good morning. New day. It's a new day. Brett's very friendly in the morning. Good morning, everybody. It's Brett Payne in the morning. Sounds like a good radio show. Good morning. Can you send M cases? And here's some case numbers, 7427 and 7422. When you have a chance, I tried, but I'm dumb and can't figure it out.
We should for the PCA. Capture those words, black out everything else.
Let's
clip it.
We'll be kind. We'll be kind. I've called myself dumb plenty of times.
He's doing it here.
I know.
It's like the jokes make themselves. Lee.
I know you can't write any better jokes. Good morning, LOL. I'm sure I can, and you're not dumb. Are you in Teton County? Can you run an R&Q for any vehicles associated with K and J from 1960? Or is that, I don't know what that /60 is, or LJ 67?
Got to be their date of births, right?
It would seem, but maybe. Yeah, I would think. Yeah, right. It's got to be date of births. That puts them pretty old. All right, out of Washington. The male has 8 vehicles registered under him. Want me to just run all of them and then send them to your MDC? The female has 0. That'll work. I think that's supposed to be that'll do, pig. That'll do. They all were sent to you. I hit the wrong I hit the wrong button.
You can't even type.
It's okay. I fumble fuck shit all the time too.
Now, I'm telling you, now the PCA is making,
now the PCA is starting to make sense.
In Idaho and Washington, the misspelling, the 2 different numbers for the 8458 phone. Now I'm seeing this is just how Brett Payne writes.
All right. Let's go. Robin, you may have to check what Amanda is sending since I'm focused on the screen here. Can you run a number out of Idaho? Also, can you do a DNQ on a CK? I forgot what the DNQ was. It's a driver name query. So there's random name queries and then there's driver name queries. ILETS is down, but I believe he's through Idaho. He was a Spillman file or has a Spillman file. Yep, I think so. ILETS will be down till 10 p.m. Disregard my poor grammar. Country grammar. Hot shit. You're all good. All right. Sorry, I can't help it. My mind is full of music. But I believe Spillman has his OLN in there for Idaho. Hey, can you run an R&Q for a TC, date of birth 2000, Idaho and Washington? Who are all these people we're running? Yes. Just looking for vehicles? Yep.
This is
we're looking for a good candidate. So yes, we're listening. I'm poor Cy Ray. He makes the candidate comment, and I've been busting his nuts on the candidate for a long time. It's the wording. Brian Koberger was the best candidate.
Words are important, especially in that context. When you're speaking of the only person who was ever arrested, charged, and sitting in prison, and you're going to refer to him as a candidate, I say that's important.
I love. Listen, Linda, I legit just spit my drink out. It's hilarious. I guess. I love when people spit their drink out. It's what I live for.
Linda, I'm telling you, Lee and Robin are making these documents a lot easier to go through. Yeah.
Hangman's joke is
fumble fuck your way through. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can fumble fuck our way through the rest of this document. No record in Washington either. Do you need the no record? These attached to anything? No, thanks. Appreciate you checking. No problem. Can you run a VIN for me? We're still looking for a good. We're looking for a good candidate. This is out of Nevada. So now they're running VINs out of Nevada. Okay. Can you check such and such out of Nevada? Yeah. Well, isn't that weird?
That is weird.
Yeah. I sent you the returns. Got it. Apparently it's the one car with no color listed. Frustrating. Immensely. Because we need a white suspect vehicle number 1. It's fucking we're looking for a good candidate here, goddammit. We need somebody that comes up with white in the description and a car rough. We need a good candidate. That's frustrating.
Say you're looking for a good candidate.
Let's say you're looking for a good candidate. Can you give me somebody that has a white car, approximately either a Camry or an Elantra, somewhere between the years of like fucking 1905 and 22, that we need a good candidate? Can you get us something there?
Didn't Einen, what's his name? that one guy early on, didn't he say that when he looked out the window, he saw a car with a Nevada plate, or it was, I don't know if I'm getting them confused at this point.
So someone says it could be Bethany Funk's family. So Bethany Funk is from Nevada. Now, granted, there could be, let's not just say that every car out of Nevada has to be, but we do know. I think Bethany Funk went back to Reno, Nevada right after the murders and never came back.
Never came back, right? As far as we know.
Which one are you referring to? But that's pretty standard with California. What?
Yeah. No, nothing.
I don't think they ever show a color on returns. Nevada too, nothing in TLO. Well, damn it, we need a good candidate and it needs to be white. Good morning. Good morning. It's Brett Payne in the morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Joe.
This is starting to become, becoming a thing. It's Brett Payne in the morning. Good morning.
Can you check this car? I got a gut feel. Can you check this car? And everything comes back.
Can you run an R&Q for these vehicles, man? I'm still working. It's days into this. What I need is a candidate. Good morning. And yes, sorry, got busy, forgot. It's all right. It's all right.
All right.
Don't nobody worry about
me.
Yeah. All right. Did you get it? I sent it. Yes, I did. Thank you. Is anyone available to relieve security on King for a few? So again, they got security guards out there and people keep calling it. There's some suspicious people sitting outside the house. Yeah. It's called security. Security. Yeah. We'll head over that way. I yell a lot, don't I? Morris, 2 o'clock is in the lobby. It's 1:58. He's too early.
2 minutes early.
You know, I appreciate that kind of humor. It's at 2. No, it's 1:58. He's early. I'm not going to go back.
Is there an Officer Morris at the MPD? That might be an interview. That it'll take him 2 minutes to. Oh, okay. You go to University of Idaho. Oh, okay, you're clear.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. It's awesome. All right.
Not like the guy we heard last night.
Just as an FYI, KR just called in saying that he needs car 10 ready by Sunday so that they can start working on it. Okay. So they
exactly. Look at Barry saying. What are you doing? You're calling in cars.
This is how this is playing out. He's sitting somewhere he's sitting in front of the donut shop. Good morning. Oh shit, a white car just drove by. Run the plates on this one. Hey, another white car run the plates on that motherfucker. Wait a minute. I need a good candidate somewhere. We're going to find something. That's what it feels like. Probably not at all remotely how it's happening, but it feels that way in my mind. And I'm going to go with it for the moment.
Okay, here we go. All right. 9. This is the 9th.
On the 9th, December 9th, someone just called on 911 that they saw a white Hyundai Elantra in Clarkston, but didn't know where it went. Do you want the plate?
Every Hyundai Elantra, there's like 20,000 of them.
Yeah, there's only 30,000 white Hyundai Elantras in the area. And I'm not sure that that's far off from the number. Like
we see somebody driving around in Clarkston. We see somebody driving around in Coeur d'Alene. We're going to call in their license number.
Yeah, this is awesome. Good morning, Brett Payne in the morning. Can you run Idaho such and such for me? Morning. The suspects. Now they're calling it the suspect's car. What just changed there?
I know. I haven't heard.
So they're running all these things, and now the suspect's car comes back to an HF 1942. What's Funk's family's name? Are they running the Nevada? Maybe not. Perfect. Thank you.
This is really important, though. We've never seen them call any of these cars that Brett Payne is calling in for whatever reason. The sus car that comes back to a beach. Blank.
I find that really strange that all of a sudden we went from calling in random cars to the suspect's car. Is there any other word to read sus than suspect's car?
Sorry, that's all I'm reading it as.
Yep.
You guys doing all right? Kay called and would like someone to bring car 10 to the shop so it can be placed out of service. Thanks. Copy. Car 5 is ready to go back in service. Copy. 178, and I will go grab it. Corbin Smith is not number 178. He's something else because 178 and him are going to go grab it. Totally forgot to push send. We're doing good. LOL. That's okay. God to hear. God needs to hear it. That's for sure. So yeah, good morning. Wait a minute. It's a new day. Good morning. It's Brett Payne in the morning. God, this is like becoming a running gag. Good morning. Can you run this number? Morning will do. Expired gray. This car is an expired gray 2015 Ram. A Ram is nothing like a Hyundai Elantra. To a T somebody 1991 out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. That's CDA, I believe.
Well, this might be suspect vehicle 3.
Could be.
Because this doesn't.
If only we could see.
Yeah, this doesn't look like the two cars that we've, what they were calling sus before.
Was there an officer speaking with a female on the phone and it just got disconnected?
Tyson Barrett coming.
Tyson Barrett. Was there an officer speaking with a female on the phone and it just got disconnected? John Rosinski. There's a Rosenthal and there's a Rosinski for those who are keeping track at home. Because some people are like, is Rosie Rosinski or is it Rosenthal? Because that's what I've had that question come up. Is Rosie Rosenthal or Rosie? I think it's Rosenthal, right? Morris. It was a male. Thanks. I sent him a phone number via text.
Okay.
You guys help me through the evening shift every night. I'm so glad I found this channel. Thank you. Thank you very much. Only Pretty in the Dark. Appreciate that very much. I'm glad that we can help you get through a day. That's amazeballs. That actually makes me feel better than almost everything else. I like knowing that people actually get value, even if it's just to be entertained for a little bit.
Well, we're learning some stuff here. We're getting up to now. We are getting
welcome to B Never Felt Pain in the Morning, DA Morning. Good morning, Moscow. That's the way you should call in. Good morning, Moscow.
And then on the 30th, Lee. Good morning, Albrightsville.
Yeah. that would be awesome.
That would be
awesome.
Out in Pennsylvania.
All right. I'm talking to the female. I'm talking to a male who was priorly disconnected with. Oops, sorry. BT 1972 KT 99 out of Post Falls with a 2013 suspect vehicle. Huh. Why are we all of a sudden using suspect vehicle names instead of calling it just random car, RNQs, random name DNQs, driver name queries? But now all of a sudden we got suspect vehicles out of Post Falls. Perfect. Thanks. You're welcome. Howdy. Can you run blank for me? See, wait a minute. That's a new day. We didn't get good morning. We got howdy.
Afternoon. This is the afternoon.
Oh, shit. Good morning's only for the morning. In the afternoon, it's howdy. Right. Hi, sorry, I'm in my office and I don't have ORI so I can't run anything. No worries, we found it. Thanks. Good morning, Moscow. Can you run me Oregon plate number such and such? Sure thing. Got it. Can you run this as well out of Idaho? Okie dokie. We're still looking for a good candidate. There's no return for that one. Should it have a U on the end? Maybe.
Oh, Brent Payne being all ambiguous. Maybe.
I sent you the return I got with the U added at the end. Awesome. Thanks. Hey, do you know anyone on scene at the shooting location in Pullman? So there's a shooting.
Oh, this is the 15th.
Oh,
they're talking about
Kopacka. That's Brett Kopacka, probably.
Yep.
Okay, this is December 15th, 11:55 a.m. Brett Payne asking, hey, do you know anyone on scene at the
shooting location in Pullman? And then the answer is kinda.
Either you do or you don't.
This is super. Like I've got all kinds of records over the Brett Payne shooting.
Now look at that.
Not the Brett Payne, the Brent Kopacka shooting. Brett Payne was not shot. Yeah. Let's get that clear right now. Kopacka.
Wow. Oh, look at this. Brett Payne is very interested.
Yes.
Can you give me a watch commander's number? Hang on. I'm on 911 and I'll get it. No worries. For patrol OIC, that is ongoing to be DA something. Thanks. Disabled vehicle near Banner Bank on Jackson. Vehicle broke down. ISP took care of it, and tow will be there around 1800. SS green Chevy Suburban and something redacted. They just wanted to give you all a heads up about a disabled Banner Bank on Jackson car that's going to be towed. Okay. Cool. Thank you. Hey, new day? Is it morning? No, it's afternoon. See, he only does good morning in the morning, so he's consistent with that.
Right.
Hey, can you run an RNQ for an LK? Okie dokie. Are you looking for Idaho? And are you sure on the spelling of her name? Yes, please. I'm not finding any vehicles for LK through Idaho. Cool, thanks. Okay. So there are no LK in Idaho or Washington. But I found an LK in Washington. She doesn't have any vehicles. I dug a little deeper. Ha ha. There is no one in Idaho with the last name of K who has any vehicles. There's no one in Idaho that has a last name starting with a K that has any vehicles. I have a hard time believing that. That gotta be like no one. There's not a single person who lives in the entire fucking state of Idaho with a last name starting with K that has a vehicle in their name. Like, would that be even possible? I don't think it's possible.
I think Brett Payne gave the wrong spelling. Now he's got to correct it.
Oh, because it's a right. It's not just the K, it's the name. Right. It's the name. Okay. I'm a dumbass. It wasn't just sorry, redaction got my ass. It's not just a K. They know the full name. So it's spelled. There's a miss. So he had a typo. Okay. I sent you the return for everyone in Idaho whose last name is that spelling and has vehicles, and there's still no L. Awesome. Thank you much. I don't actually think that is everyone in Idaho. I was double checking my work and search for someone whose name is K, and I get a return that's not on the one I sent you. I was super wrong. Ha ha ha. There are way more Ks than I thought. Well, yeah. LOL. Still no L or L though. I'm sure about that. And then he wants more. Can you run that? Yes, sir. Can you send me the return for this? Idaho? Sure thing. Can you run Idaho this? Okie dokie. And this. Because we're still looking for a good candidate. I sent you the second one and I did not get a return on the first one. Copy, thank you. No problemo. Yo, can you run this Washington plate? Yo, comes back to a 2014 model of the suspect vehicle to a CR at a Pullman. Ooh, we're getting so much closer.
Oh,
but
look,
the problem is, yeah.
This is what, the 19th? It's the day after that they had their teams meeting in the evening and that the FBI gave Payne and Company Kohberger's name. It's the day after. So we're getting
that interesting.
Close. That's just
and this is the day under testimony by Ann Taylor that Brett Payne said, we had never heard the name. I had never heard the name Brian Kohberger until December 19th when the FBI gave me the name Brian Kohberger. We had never heard that name. Right. And she asked him like 5 times, you'd never heard Brian Kohberger's name before the 19th? That's correct. So before the 19th, you'd never heard his name. That's correct. She knew she had him on perjury. They already knew who Kohberger was, in my opinion, but she didn't get a chance to prove it because there's no trial.
This is the day right here. The evening is when he said on the stand that they had their teams meeting. And that's when first time he claimed no clue who Brian Kohberger was before.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you. Can I ask another favor? Go for it before I log off. You'll have to ask somebody. I am heading to Jacob's Pinning. No worries. See you there. Can you run an RNQ for any vehicles registered to an ER or an AR? Idaho? Copy. I didn't get any vehicles for E, but I am checking Washington too, just in case. Nothing out of Washington for either. I sent over the one vehicle I got back for A. Did you need it attached to anything? Copy, thanks, no problem. KA is in the lobby. KA is in the lobby, on my way. Jay Waters says, on my way. Thanks, Jay, or thank Jay. K from the shop wanted to see if someone would come do a VIN check on 2 new cars. From the 20th. Sure. Thank you. Can you give me the cell number of T from MPP or from PPD? Pullman Police, Pullman PD, Pullman Police Department. WSU PD, sorry. So there are 2 different, Pullman and WSU have 2 different police departments, the WSU being the campus and Pullman being the city, for those who are following along.
WSU cell number. Could that have been the Kohberger 8458 or the 8548 phone? Because look at the day. This is now the 20th.
The 20th.
The afternoon. Yeah. He's been told the day before during the teams. He's probably done a little bit of research and realized. So, okay, not PPD, not Pullman, but WSU.
WSU PD. Yep.
Also, who Kohberger told Payne he did work for when he was a student. It was WSU PD and one other law enforcement agency.
Well, I believe, I know Kohberger applied to be like an intern and got denied. Supposedly that was the official story. Did he ever do any work with them, or did he just do the application? I'm not sure.
Like, I mean, you have to interpret
Read
it
between the
through
lines.
technique, which
Yeah.
is difficult, but it sounded like when he was doing maybe projects in his graduate studies,
sure,
that they would do work, that they would do
that
work.
that would make sense. I'm sure that's something that doesn't get said a lot. He probably would have been working with them through graduate work stuff.
Right, like other students, not just him.
Yeah, probably working with them to run things through their system or whatever, to practice that kind of stuff. If you're at that level, you're getting pretty into the weeds about stuff. WSUPD, sorry. Hey, this is Detective Payne from MPD. Are you online? 321 TD work personal. So they got somebody's work phone and personal phone.
And this is the day after Kohberger is given to them supposedly on a platter from the FBI.
What was the officer's name? What was the officer's name we said that called in the plate? It was
Whitman and Tiango.
Tiango. Is this Tiango? What's Tiango's 321? Is that these guys or not?
No, I think Tiango was his last name.
Yeah. Okay.
But
these are two different people. Work phone and I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Just called your works. Disregard everything I just said. I'm a moron. Can you call me? Copy it. We'll call in a couple of minutes. Thanks.
Here you go. That might be him right there, Lee, at the 165231. That
right
might
here?
be Tiango right here. Maybe.
Yeah, which is why I thought that's who we might be talking about here. Maybe they would get 321 would be Tiango's patrol number, I would think. So 321 Tiango could be the cop that saw the vehicle. I'm wondering.
One of them. Yep.
Were you riding with CW that night by chance?
That's the other one. Curtis Whitman.
Oh, I thought it was Christopher Whitman. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. That's get that. Daniel Tiang. Yeah. Daniel
That's right.
Tiango.
Yeah.
Tiango, comma Daniel. Works number. That's it. Daniel.
Oh, he had it
Tiango.
backwards. Tiango Daniel. Okay.
Yeah, they just got first name. So it's Tiango, comma Daniel. His work and cell phone, officer number 321 with Washington State Police Department. That's what I think that's about.
Okay, you know what I think's happening here? Brett Payne, having been given Kohberger's name, is now going through and he's realizing that Whitman and Tiango, the end of November, both within a half hour of each other, called in the Kohberger car from the WSU law enforcement.
This is really kind of interesting. I don't know what we're really seeing, but it's interesting. Okay, just called your work cell. Can you call me? Copy. I'll call you in a few minutes. Thanks. Were you riding with CW that night by chance? I was not, but was driving around in his vehicle looking for possible suspect at the same time I was. Who are they talking to? So this is Daniel Tiango, I think.
Yep, looks like
this is probably Daniel Tiango talking to Brett Payne. And he's asking, were you with CW that night by chance? That night? What night? The night of the murders or the night when they found the car? I thought the car was found during the day.
That has to be the night that they were, because look, he's saying here he was driving around in his vehicle looking for a possible suspect at the same time I was. And they both wound up calling in the Kohberger car within 30 minutes of each other when they did, end of November. And look at the date. This is the 20th. This is the first thing. Brett Payne for a month was just calling, check this, check that. And right away, bam, on the 20th, he's needing to speak with Tiango and Whitman.
Is it interesting or not? Now, maybe he wouldn't tell other people, but is it interesting or not that Kohberger's car looks like it hasn't been officially identified yet? Mm-hmm. And yet it's the day after Brett Payne said on the stand, they heard about Brian Kohberger. They already had Brian Kohberger. Listen, Brett Payne said they already heard Brian Kohberger's name on the 19th. That's when the FBI got the tip. And then they go find Brian Kohberger's car and go, we found this vehicle, run its plates. It comes back to a Brian Kohberger. They were already looking for Kohberger. When you see what I'm saying? It's not like they ran the plates and then did some math and figured out, oh, this must be who we're looking for. They already had his name, according to Brett Payne, on the 19th.
Right.
Before they went looking for Brian Kohberger's car.
But these two guys right here, they had already called in the tip line, because what Payne did is he sent out a Bolo, but just to the cops at the end of November. Then it went to the public in like a week later or so. These two guys right here, within a half hour, they both called in to the tip line. the inside edition, LE tip line, because what Pet
What?
Prep Inc. said was keep this under your hat because it was before they went public. We're looking for a white Elantra 2011 to 2014. And that's when these two guys, it was like that day or that evening, both happened to call into Koberger. Now, my question is, did Koberger have his Washington tag at this point?
No, so we know after the murders, right? When after the murders did he swap his plates to Washington state plates? Because he had Pennsylvania plates on, remember? And and just so you understand, he's required within a certain number of days after moving to Washington state to change his plates to Washington state. The media tried to portray Brian Koberger's getting Washington state plates as some kind of, he's trying to cover up his crimes because he had Pennsylvania plates and he swapped his plates out. So he had to. It was coming up on the date that you have to switch over your plates to Washington state. And there's nothing suspicious when he goes into the DMV and is doing all this stuff like that. But so here's where we got this. Listen.
Can I just confirm something with Robin being she's from Pennsylvania? Is it true that your license tag, you have to renew it on your birthday?
No.
Somewhere around your birthday month or so?
Yeah. You mean your driver's license or
the tags on your car?
No, the tag doesn't have to be on your birthday. No,
It goes when you buy it, right? It's 1 year from when you buy it.
Yeah.
1 year from when you purchase it. But you're right. He had like within X number of days to change to a Washington, to be domesticated in Washington because he was going to school there. He's working there. But how stupidly he's going to go and commit these crimes with a Pennsylvania tag. Why not change it out a couple of weeks earlier?
Right.
That would blend in a little bit more.
Right. And again, if for those who are trying to act like he fled to Pennsylvania, wasn't planning on coming back because shit was going sideways at WSU and they were firing him and he got a letter that he'd been canceled from his, like there was that idea that he was just fleeing and wasn't going to come back. Well, why would he change his plates to Washington state plates and continue to stay there? It leads to a lot of questions, but let's continue on. Were you riding with CW that night by chance? I was not, but he was driving around in his vehicle looking for a possible suspect at the time that I was. Awesome. He ran another plate at the same location, but it was a Washington plate. Copy. Also, the Pennsylvania plate I ran was not the one I saw at the tennis courts on North Fairway. The one I saw at the tennis courts was the California plate.
What?
Right? This is what I was like, wait a minute, what's going on right there?
What's this?
The Pennsylvania plate I ran was not the one at the tennis courts. Thank you, by the way, for the silver star. Appreciate that very much. Truth Sleuther. Ooh, I can almost say that without slurring. Okay, so I feel like a true slur. I don't know what I was trying to say right there.
Comment, everyone. Very nice. Thank you.
Right. Also, the PA plate I ran was not the one I saw at the tennis courts on North Fairway. The one I saw at the tennis courts was the California plate. Cool.
So what did he do? Did he call in another car? Tiango?
Yeah.
He called in another car with California plates?
Yes, I think so. And that was up above. They had a thing about California cars, I think.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
So
Any memory of the PA one? Geobase looks like Northeast Valley Road apartments. I'm going to pull up the parking system right now. I think I ran from a vehicle I found in our parking system trying to see if it was returned to a local address. I was probably parked in front of our PD at the time. That's Tiango to pay.
Lee, some people are saying that they did not call the tip line.
Who didn't call the tip line? The cops?
I think that's what they mean.
Yeah, I don't think they called the tip line because they again I thought the official record was it didn't match the Bolo, so they didn't call it in. I thought.
And he got
his new plate on 11/18. So yeah, on 11/20ish now he would have already had his plates changed. So they saw it when it was Pennsylvania, but now it's or did he? Maybe he got the plates. Look, I'm trying to guess. You can pick up your plates and not have swapped them yet. So maybe he still had the plates in his possession and hadn't put them on the vehicle. I don't know. All right, that might be the one that's at the Steptoe Village Apartments, and this is where Koberger lives. Right, is at the Steptoe Village at the time. That's what Maps is showing for me. Yeah, that sounds right. It also has an active parking permit for that lot. The lot at his residence? Yeah, the parking lot at Steptoe Village Apartments. His apartment is number such and such, 3 something, I can't remember. I believe it was parked in the top large parking lot located off Brandy Way. And I've been there. I drove that. I know exactly. Yeah. Anyways, I've been there and looked around. Would you like the male's name that was on the parking account? I believe it's the same as the RO of the vehicle. Would you like the male's name that was on the parking account? I believe it's the same as the registered operator of the vehicle. So that's going to be Brian Koberger, right? I just got it. Thanks, man. You've been a huge help. No problem. Any interest in a 2013 white Hyundai Civic? Not at the moment. We have our candidate. All right,
Yep.
copy, Sergeant. That part I just read into it. He didn't say that.
Heather Mosher says this is important. Payne called Tiango before they wrote these text messages because Payne realized they had a big problem.
I wish you could explain that a little bit further. This is important. Payne called Tiango before they wrote these text messages because Payne realized they had a big problem. Interesting. All right, copy, Sergeant. Just asking, please let me know if you need anything else. I'm on until 2 in the morning. Awesome. Thanks a ton. No problem. Sorry to bother you. I believe I saw, this is on the late at night on the 20th. Sorry to bother you. I believe I saw the same vehicle Curtis Whitman ran, such and such plate, Washington at Steptoe, and not the PA one. I checked both of our radio logs and histories, and I remember meeting up with him in the Steptoe lot right after he saw that plate out of Washington. And he told me he ran that one as we roadsided in the lot. I ran the PA one after checking parking system while parked in front of the vehicle bays at WSUPD right before I began to drive around to look for possible vehicles. So at some point, one of those cops saw that same vehicle with the Pennsylvania plates and the other one saw it with the Washington plates. Heather Mosier says, Tiango says he ran the PA plate after seeing BK's car, but that day BK's car had a Washington plate on it.
Right, because Heather, he went to the DMV. Somebody had reminded me in chat that it was the 18th of November. It was the Friday after the crimes, and he would have gotten his tags, it seems like, before the Tiango and Whitman were, both calling him in at the same time.
I maybe I'm just not smart to figure it out, but there certainly seems to be some fuckery going on with this whole conversation. I agree. There's something I'm missing. I feel like when we're not live and I'm sitting and I'm reading and thinking it through, maybe I'll find it because I just feel like there's something we're missing there. And I think Heather already understands it, and I'm just not up to speed for some reason. But you're right. When the vehicle plate was changed from Pennsylvania to Washington and what they knew when they knew it is super important. Awesome. Thank you. No problem. With the probation and youth services just called to say that MT is in their lobby right now, and she knew that we were wanting to speak with him. She said they are going to try and keep him there for a bit if someone is available. Okay, we'll try to catch up with them. So somebody that they want to interview by the name of M something T is out there. All right. Jason Summers. Hey. And that's it. That's how it ends. Hey.
Hey. Oh,
guys.
great.
So these are the redactions and the redaction log. Unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. Some of the stuff's redacted because it's unwarranted invasion of privacy. You don't need to know somebody's personal cell phone, date of birth, social security number. I get that. And a lot of the other stuff was just ongoing police investigation. Unwanted invasion of privacy for those. And active investigative records.
I'm wondering at this time if this is where it ends. If Payne then stopped communicating with them about VIN numbers, can you check this car? Because they had their candidate at that point.
Right. Well, and again, by this date, Payne had been given the name Brian Koberger and told by the FBI, you can't use this as anything more than a tip, but your guy is Brian Koberger. Tip, tip, wink, wink. And so did they shut down then all those other plates they're running of all those other vehicles that they're calling suspect vehicles? And all of that changed because they were told, Brian Koberger's your guy, here's the tip. And you can't use the tip. You just got to do some real police work. And then they started to move towards the best candidate.
Well, let's
is that the question?
Let's look at the explanation he gave regarding the unnamed suspect 2. Or unnamed male 2 on the stairwell. the red DNA. Oh, we didn't look at that because we didn't think we could put 2 in
Right.
CODIS. So we have unknown male A over here that we're dealing with from the sheath. That's Koberger. So we're going to focus on him. I'm sure that's exactly what they did here, because why would if Ann Taylor's asking for all discovery and it stops right there with that hay, I'm thinking that there's a possibility Payne removed himself there because now he's got to go work on a bunch of other things to get this PCA ready. PCA is signed the 29th. And even before that, he's dealing with Pennsylvania, like I think as early as the 27th. So not a lot of time there.
Yeah, it feels like they got everything they needed at this point. They're clearly actively looking all over the place. But once they get this hit, and again, the FBI telling them this is the guy, they just stopped. And I would say they got blinders on and just everything then became, this is the guy. We know it's the guy. We've got enough evidence now to write to write the probable cause affidavit and go for an arrest and start prosecuting this guy. And all other leads are now immaterial. We don't need to look at anything else. It is nobody else. This is the guy we want. And everything else, and this was directly worded from another case that I was watching, will just muddy the waters. Any other person's name at this point, once we have our candidate, any other person's name tied to this is just going to muddy the waters, makes it harder to get a prosecution. It is so hard to explain to somebody multiple killers and how they got there and whether they rode in somebody else's car. That's going to be complex to prosecute. It's going to be complex to show to a jury. Much easier one individual, and everything will then become one guy. It's a lot easier to build a case on one guy. And so the question becomes, did they do that in this case? Did they get blinders on once they got Koberger's name from the FBI? And then it just became shoehorn everything into this is how it happened.
Well, look at what the timing is too. Now we're getting into the 20th, the 21st. School's getting ready to open up again for the spring, this new semester in January. You can just imagine, I'm sure that Green, who supposedly was in some of the war rooms, is putting pressure on. They need somebody arrested. Somebody needs to be arrested because they can't have people not coming back to campus.
And Heather's got a really good point. And I can't verify what she's saying 100%. I should be able to, but I want to say it. She's got a great point. Tiango ran BK's plate, but lied and said he found BK's car. He messed up because he ran a Pennsylvania plate when BK already had a Washington plate on his car. So did Tiango get told, hey, if you could call in, you've got Koberger's plate, this would be really helpful? Because again, Koberger's name was already out there. They already knew him today. This is who we want, Koberger. And so if Tiango can call in, I saw his plate, but did he make a fuck up because he called it in without realizing that it already had a Washington plate? And he said, oh yeah, I had a Pennsylvania plate. So is that part of the mistake? So Tiango did not find BK's car, or he would have seen a Washington plate.
Well, let's look at what we just learned. Tiango and Whitman. So maybe it was Whitman who actually physically saw the car. Tiango was just maybe looking at, like you need a pass to park there. So maybe he's sitting in the office and going through and looking to see like what cars, do we have a white Elantra anywhere? And then he comes up, oh, okay, it's Koberger, Pennsylvania tag, whatever, because maybe Koberger didn't get around to changing his information with WSU. The two of them, from what we just read, had met in the parking lot and were talking face to face. So maybe Whitman went over, but Tiango didn't. I remember what Heather was saying vaguely, and it caused me to wonder why would he be looking at a Pennsylvania plate? Because Koberger had changed already by this time to a Washington tag.
Yeah, and look, there's a lot of great questions and comments coming out. Devil's advocates, do you know exactly why the FBI had BK's name in the first place? That's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question that they literally won't tell Ann Taylor and the defense team. We won't tell you how we had his name. It was a tip and a tip only. And in fact, part of the fight going on right now is the FBI is mad at MPD for using the tip and trying to write a PCA around the tip that they told them you can't use what we're telling you. It's a tip only. So, and we won't testify to anybody in court about what the tip was, probably because, in my opinion, what they did wasn't entirely legal. And they didn't want it out there in the public how they got it. So they said, look, we can't ever testify to how we got his name. It's the right guy, but go do some real police work and find it out somehow.
Hey,
So.
Lee, what we do know is this. We do know that Sergeant Blacker took the DNA, not the sheath, the DNA profile. He drove down to ISP lab, picked it up in Boise, flew to Houston, drove to Othram, turned over, and Othram
Yes.
began doing work. Somewhere around the 10th of December is when I believe, based on some other documentation that we have, that's when the FBI took over the testing. It might have been around then. And that they did what they did. They went into possibly areas that they shouldn't have, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And within 9 days, then they said, look at Koberger, but don't. Now, you saw what a fight it was between the defense and the state over IGG. The defense wanted all of the discovery. There was, I mean, going back to Latah County, motions to compel, hearings, and then the big hearing before John Judge, and he said, okay, you can have just this. I'm going in camera. This is what you can have. But the defense still continued. When it came time to motions in limine, which is one of the biggest questions I have in my head, after they worked for 2 years on IgG DNA, defense said, we're not going to use IgG DNA at trial. So what the judge did is he said, okay, you two, you get together and you come up with a jury instruction. And they literally came up with a jury instruction that said, you just heard Detective Payne state that they got a tip on the 9th, that don't inquire anymore. Don't look behind the door. Don't look behind the curtain. That's it. That's what they were going to tell the jury. Why did they drop IgG if it was such a big part of this case? Lee, can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm ranting over here. I'm ranting my ass off, and I'm not. Yeah, they're in. I think they're in big. I think that's the $1 million question. They're in big deep shit about the IgG. How does Cy-Ray come on with the custody queens and say they blew this case because they used IgG and they didn't have to use it? They already had Koberger. If they already, it's the $1 million question. If you already had Koberger, why would you use IgG, which you knew you did something? You lied. You said that you were the public submitting DNA to the database and saying you weren't law enforcement when you were. You knew it was a major problem. Why would you even do that if you already had Koberger? That's the thing. I don't believe personally Cy-Ray when he says they already had Koberger. I think that's bullshit. Because just like he said, why would you do that? Why would you go do something so ridiculous to get IgG to pin Koberger if you already had him? He tries to pass it off as just they fumble fucked that one. They didn't have to do it. And now they screwed their case. I don't know that they had him.
Well, the only thing that we can go on is that these two, Curtis Whitman and Daniel Tiango, did call in the BK car into the tip line after Payne put out the Bolo, keep it under your hat, don't tell anybody, this is super secret. The end, I want to say it was like November 29th. It was around that time. It was the same day that Othram billed ISP for their work. So they had that. And then we have the documentation from the 5th where Koberger's name is suspect 2. Under the redacted, we now know it was JD, was suspect 1. So whether you believe ISP, that was just, a technical error, it was something like this, and then they can't come back and say, well, why did we have Koberger twice elsewhere? That's up to, But then there's some who believe, it might be you, Lee, that maybe they found him independently that has nothing to do with what I just went over.
Yeah, right.
But
I don't know, ma'am. I don't know.
I believe that the feds told them, do not, the feds took over. They took over. They stopped Othram. Othram had been working on it for several days. They had billed ISP for their work. Othram was told, stop now. And why I think it's around the 9th or the 10th is because, what's his name? Williford, the ISP guy who went and picked up the sheath. He dropped it. He gave it to Tarentine. Tarentine took it to ISP Lab on the 16th of November. That's the day of his report, is the 10th of December. That's when he wrote up his report that I picked it up. This is what I did. And I think they needed to get all of that. documented at that time. But yeah, at a certain time, I was told stop working because
Yeah.
the feds had to do what they needed to do going into certain databases. Maybe they shouldn't have been able to go in. That's probably why they said to Payne, under no set of circumstances, do not say, you just go out and do your police work. Look at this guy. This is your guy. Can you imagine when they sold that PCA coming out with them?
Yeah. And again, now we're pointing fingers at each other to decide who's going to take the fall for it. The FBI fucked up, or MPD fucked up. Both. It seems like both agencies now are lining up to point the finger at the other department of, you're the one that screwed up this case. If he walks, it's because you didn't keep it a tip like we told you to, or the other side's gonna be like, you're the one that told us this was the guy and we followed your lead. Like they're both going to point to each other.
Well, you can just see Payne being a little sneaky there. Like, why has he got to talk to Tiango offline? He never said to anybody else. We just went through what, about a month's worth of documentation. Payne never said, call me, I want to talk to you offline. He only did it with Tiango. It was the first time he did it, and then he could be mad at me after he told him what he told him.
Tiffany Marie says you can even watch Brian Enton, and he says Brian Koberger was discovered 11/29.
That was the date. I think it's the 29th of November is when Tiango and Whitman together, which I always thought was sus. I mean, you both like within a half hour of each other, but then I found out later that was when Payne put out the Bolo. So they were probably just both on working and trying to find this car.
What a crazy case. We only had time to do one document. I had two documents queued up, but it is what it is. It was a wild ride. We're at about 2 hours. I'm ready to call it good. Are you guys okay with calling it good for tonight?
Sure.
Yeah, you covered a lot.
We covered a lot, and I love it. The communication, the chat is on fire. People appreciate the fuckery in this audience. I want to remind you as well, if you like the channel, and there's even a remote possibility that you'd like to talk about something other than Idaho for sometime, please consider watching the video that's going public tomorrow morning on the Tate brothers, Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, on their arrest and who they're all connected to. It brings in Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, Donald Trump, members of Congress, all of it involved in that arrest. It's way bigger than you think. I feel like there's a phrasing.
It's going to be great.
There. But anyways, check it out. And I hope that you'll give it a shot and give us some love so that we can try to get some other new, fresh looks on things as well. But we're not going to stop the Idaho 4 because this thing, I think, as Ray said it, they're going to get another bite at this apple.
I really do too. That's why I'm and I like what, if we could, Hanky Panky, Mom, is there any possibility you can pull up that one comment, Lee, because I think it's important, where she said that Judge Hippler ruled the IGG investigation did not violate BK's rights. That's right. That was during the motion to suppress hearing, and that's when Hippler said the infamous words: "Your client's DNA at the crime scene is probable cause every day of the week and twice on Sunday." What I always felt, I can't believe it, that Payne, that
hang on a second, Lee.
Yeah.
Amanda says to check Teams before we go.
Yeah, just real quick, I want to comment on this as well. I get pushback from this all the time because I tell people they were never going to use the DNA evidence at trial, and people push back and say Judge Hippler said that they were going to use it in trial. That doesn't mean it was going to get used in trial. There's an official document from telling the prosecution, do not use the IGG information. You're in deep shit. And Judge Hippler can totally think it was fine and rule that it is. And that's why Ray said some of Judge Hippler's decisions will not survive appeal. So while it might be true, the fight was going to happen, I assure you. And I think they would have been wise not to bring IGG in. I think here's the last thing I want to say about that, and then I'll check what you guys got for a message. The last thing I want to say is that I said this before. As soon as Koberger pled guilty, they now can tell you anything they want. Hippler said, you now realize the state no longer has to prove anything about you because you're admitting guilt. Now they can say whatever they want. Oh yeah, his DNA was all over that crime scene. We had him 6 ways to Sunday. 10 out of 10 juries would have convicted him. They can say whatever they want because there will be no trial, and they can now say whatever they want. So we can keep quoting people. Oh, they said right there they were going to get him. They were going to, yeah, they can say whatever they want because there's no trial unless it goes back to an appeal, and that's going to change everything.
It will change everything. And, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it, why the defense used so much time on IGG and then to drop it. They said, we're not going to be using IGG at trial. And that's when he said, create the jury question, the jury instruction. And they did. It's on the docket if anyone wants to take a look at it.
Amanda sent me some shit, and I'm trying to see what she's sending me.
Amanda on the job.
It's a public records request from Connor.
Oh, this must be stuff from Kohberger's car.
Yeah.
The only reason I say this is from Kohberger's car is because I remember them telling me what they found in Kohberger's car, and it seems to be pictures of things that I remember. So I'll show it on screen. I got to be careful because I could overshare. And everybody knows that I am an oversharing kind of person, apparently. So,
well, Lee, I'm hopeful that this is going to be a treasure trove of DNA as they.
Well, no. So this, I believe, these were contents, I believe, that were found in the trunk, which was like a kit. This is after service. I can't remember what that part is right there, but the vegan bottle of
right.
Like supplements, and the tire. Remember that there was a missing tire iron supposedly for this, so that he had a jack in the car, right. And I think they said that the bar was missing, which led some people to believe that the other weapon that was used in the case was a missing bar from this item here. So I'm guessing, and that's an overshare. It's just bunnies, so don't freak out. But anyways, point being is that yeah, so it's interesting. I don't know that it was just something that was sent backstage, and so but I don't have context for it other than I think that's some of the contents of Kohberger's trunk.
Well, weren't you expecting, and I'm sure that Brett Payne was, that there was going to be just that car was going to be filled with DNA from the crime scene, and they found nothing. That's what they found.
Yep. All right. On that note, let's call it, people. We'll be together, I'm sure, again, since it seems to be a very good fit for us to all bullshit about cases. So we will be back again tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another Crimes After Dark. Tomorrow's Thursday, right?
Yes.
Thursday. Mm-hmm.
Friday, by the way. So again, last shameless plug to try to watch my video on the Tate arrests. Also on Friday, after this Crimes After Dark show, we're going to have our Beyond channel, and we have a brand new sizzle that's really cool. So if you haven't seen the music, it's a brand new song and a brand new sizzle reel for the Beyond channel. So check that out if you guys have time and you have any interest in that. Other than that, Kathy, Robin, thanks for being here. Appreciate you both so much. And everybody that gave gifts tonight, everybody who shared kind thoughts and words of encouragement saying that we get you through the night means a lot to us. Thank you very much.
Okay, good night, everybody.
Good night.